We're going to turn now to Terry, who's just down the street in Homewood. Terry, good evening to you.
Good evening. Yes, I was taking Majoro and it started putting knots on my stomach.
And so just wondering if that's a part
I
of...
was just wondering if that's a part of, yes, ma'am.
Of the problems that
Sure.
you're hearing about.
So there have already been some scientific links to things like gallbladder issues, thyroid cancer, but really focusing on the stomach. You know, the gastroparesis, gallbladder issues, anything of that nature that is you're starting to see. First, if there's any sort of lumps or bumps on any sort of organ, you definitely want to make sure you're getting some imaging on that, making sure that it's nothing cancerous or you know, something that your doctor needs to look and see whether they need to remove it. As far as what could be going on, you know, again, it would be something that you'd want to talk to your doctor, but you know, without there being some long-term data on these medications, probably for the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to be learning, unfortunately, through people out in our community, what are the real risks of being on these medications.
And so, and we're up against the break, but let me ask you this. There's no formal lawsuit, no class action at this point, or is there?
So there is.
Okay.
Actually, there was a lawsuit filed in New Orleans, Louisiana, about a lady who has gastroparesis, and she was essentially, she had nausea and vomiting so horrible that it actually knocked her teeth out.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, so it is serious when it happens, and again, it's gastroparesis is a lifelong condition. Wow. So, you know, it's something that you really need to weigh when you're talking with your doctor about whether or not it's worth it for you to go on it versus another medication or another lifestyle option.
So folks out there that may be having a problem with this medication that want help, talk to them about the process that you would go through, they would go through with us or other attorneys in getting the help they need for problems they have with this medication or others.
Sure, so the first thing that you're going to do is call your local attorney. Once you have that agreement in place for them to represent you on your claims related to taking this medication, they are going to work with you on getting all of your prescription records, all of your hospital or doctor records showing that yes, you were prescribed this, yes, you did take it, and yes, you were injured from it. All of those three things, once you've got everything that checks off the boxes showing that you've got a valid claim, then we file your lawsuit. Like Kirby mentioned earlier, sometimes these lawsuits get caught in what's called a multi-district litigation, which essentially means that there's one federal court, because there are so many claimants in these types of lawsuits, that one federal court in the country will be designated as the court for the totality of the claimants in the country. So whether you live in California, Texas, Alabama, if the litigation gets centralized somewhere like Louisiana, no matter where you live, that's where the litigation is going to go. Does that mean that you are going to have to go there to do anything? 90% of the time, no. Generally what that means is once the litigation is moved there, your lawyer will continue to work with you, building up your own case, you know, following your care and treatment, and making sure that they are going to either the place where those cases are centralized or being in good contact with the lawyers that are set out from the federal court as the lead attorneys for the litigation. In following those lead attorneys will be the primary prosecutors of the actions against the makers of the drug. And they work with every lawyer that has filed claims so that everybody's operating on the same information on your side. So essentially it's when you hire a lawyer and you see it's in a multi-district litigation, you actually get an army of lawyers working for you on your behalf, which is important because these drug makers are huge. They have tons of money and they can drag litigation out for an extremely long time. So, you know, to have the depth of on the bench on the plaintiff's side is huge, and has, you know, over the course of almost 15 years of me practicing in this area, has always proved to be such an asset for each of the clients that we've represented.
It's good to know. That's very good to know. So thank you for that question and that information.